Head to Safeway this week for these amazing holiday digital deals for members. Signature Select Classic Ham, Shank half or whole, bone in, just 87 cents per pound, while supplies last. Limit 1. Green asparagus, only $1.99 per pound, limit 4 pounds. And Lucerne shredded, sliced, or chunk cheese, 6 to 8 ounce sizes, or Philadelphia cream cheese, 8 ounce bricks, all just $1.99 each. Limit 6 items. Check the weekly mailer or online ad and visit Safeway.com for more details. See you in the aisles.
However, not feeling great. I get to work an hour late, and everyone looks at me like I'm an asshole. My boss says, get over here. You smell like whiskey beer.
I just love that song. And also, I sometimes get to work an hour late, and hopefully my clients don't look at me like I'm an asshole. Also, hello, and welcome back to Don't Quote Me, It's Probably Nothing, the podcast where I say things out loud that the government would really prefer I didn't. I'm Kelly, and today is Friday. I mean, it's not Friday right now, but it's Friday as you're listening to this. So happy Friday. But that also means we got to put on our tinfoil hats. The cute ones, though, not the itchy ones. Because we are going to be talking about Area 51. The place the government pretended didn't exist for literal decades, which is always a great sign that everything happening there is like super normal and totally fine, right? Now, I haven't talked about aliens in a minute, and that feels wrong for me, like spiritually incorrect, so we're fixing that today. Because here's my thing. You cannot tell me that there is a base in the middle of the Nevada desert with armed guards, a no-fly zone, and unmarked planes, and then be like, relax, my guy. It's not aliens. Like, be so serious right now. Anyway, so grab your snacks. I have my pizza from yesterday. That is delicious. And I have some ramen coming, and I'm super duper excited about that. Oh, and I got crab rangoon, and I also got 2 peach lemon tea with the mango boba, and I'm so excited. You have no idea. I almost said I'm so delicious. I'm not. I mean, maybe I'm delicious. I don't know. But this is going to be so delicious because I am so hungry right now. Anyway, did I tell you to grab your snacks yet? Maybe that's why I started talking about snacks. I'm so fucking high right now. But, yeah, anyway, let's talk about Area 51. Okay, so before we go full alien, we have to talk about what Area 51 is officially supposed to be. And yes, I did air quotes for officially. Also, I just want to let you know that the headphones I have on right now, so I wear these headphones. Why? I have no idea. But because it's cool and people who do podcasts wear these headphones, you know? But really, I mean, they're not even plugged in. Why am I telling you this? Oh yeah, they're so tight. They like squeeze my brain. Sometimes I feel like my eyeballs are popped out of my head because of how tight these are. And sometimes they hurt, you know? And I take them off and I feel like my head's shaped like an 8. But anyway, yeah, I don't know. I wanted to tell you that, I guess. But according to the government, which, just for the record, has never lied to us before, Area 51 is a highly classified U.S. Air Force testing site located near Groom Lake in Nevada. They say it's used to test experimental aircraft and surveillance technology. Cool. Normal. Very boring. But the base was established in the 1950s during the Cold War when the U.S. was basically like, okay, Russia exists and we need planes that can spy, but like quietly, you know? So this is where planes like the U-2 spy plane and later the SR-71 Blackbird were developed and tested. There's a plane going above me right now. Hopefully I can edit that out. But anyway, there is actually a band called SR-71, and my favorite song from them, and honestly probably the only song I've ever heard from them, is called Right Now. And it's fantastic. And maybe you should go listen to it, but after this episode. Anyway, to be fair, those planes were like wild for their time. They were super fast, super high altitude, and like looked weird as hell in the sky, which is why the government says a lot of early UFO sightings were actually just people seeing these experimental aircraft and going, what is that? So the explanation does make some sense. If you see a plane in the 1950s doing stuff planes absolutely should not be doing, your brain is going to jump straight to aliens. At least mine would. But this is where like I start side-eyeing the whole thing, because if it was just about planes, Why are you keeping it so secret? Area 51 was so classified that the government refused to even acknowledge it existed until 2013. Not like what they did there, not what they tested, the existence of the place. People who work there are flown in on unmarked planes. There's a permanent no-fly zone over that area. There are armed guards with permission to use deadly force if you get too close. And workers sign like lifetime NDAs, which feels like a lot for planes. And also, Groom Lake isn't just some random base. It's in the middle of absolutely nowhere, which is great if you're testing secret tech, but also very convenient if you're trying to hide something the public would lose their shit over, okay? So, officially, Area 51 is a testing site for advanced military aircraft. Unofficially, people are like, okay, what else? The way I just said what else, I know I mentioned this on the podcast before but the way I just said that what else made me think of the steak guy, we got medium well over here, we got medium well over here. I know I did this a couple episodes ago. I'm just going to finish it though. And then the guy was like, are you saying medium rare or medium well? And he's like, medium well. It kills me every time. Anyway, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, okay. So when something is this locked down, people are going to like fill in the gaps. And once Roswell enters the chat, which it absolutely will, the plane excuse starts feeling like a little thin. So let's talk about why so many people believe it's way more than that. So let's rewind to July 1947, post World War II. Cold War anxiety is brewing, and people are already like jumpy, and America is obsessed with anything flying that isn't supposed to be flying. And a rancher named William Mac Brazel, I think that's how you pronounce it. I'm going to spell it for you. It's Brazel. So, yeah. Anyway, he finds strange debris scattered across his land near Roswell, New Mexico. Not normal plane debris, and not like weather balloon vibes either. Weird stuff, lightweight, metallic, didn't burn, didn't break like anything he'd seen before. So he does the logical thing and reports it to the local authorities. So here's where things go completely off the rails. So on July 8th, 1947, the military releases a press statement saying they have recovered a flying disc, not object, not debris, not like experimental equipment. They said like flying disc. Frisbee. Do you remember when that guy told the world that his son was in this balloon, and here the son was in like the shed the whole time, or the garage the whole time? Remember? And it was like, yeah, it's wild. Balloon Boy. Don't they call him Balloon Boy? Is that it? Anyway, the flying disc statement goes out to newspapers like nationwide, and people understandably lose their damn minds. And then almost immediately, the military panics. So within 24 hours, they retract the statement and say, actually, never mind, it's just a weather balloon. So let's recap real quick. You confidently say flying disc, the entire country freaks out, and then you're like, haha, JK, balloon. No, I don't think so. So photos are released of officers posing with foil, sticks, and rubber, basically like craft store materials. And the official story becomes nothing to see here. And for a while, people kind of just like accept it. Because like, what are you going to do? Argue with the military in like 1947? Okay. So fast forward to the 1990s, which I hate saying that. I prefer 90s, you know? When I hear people say 1990s, it basically feels like they're saying 1800s a little bit. But anyway, during the 90s, the government changes their story again. Now they say the debris was actually from Project Mogul, which was a top secret program involving high altitude balloons designed to detect Soviet nuclear tests. So not a weather balloon. A secret balloon, which also raises a few questions. 1, why lie the first time? B, why say flying disc at all? And E, why wait 50 years to explain this? Okay. So things get like a little spicy because over the decades, multiple witnesses, military personnel, nurses, morticians, and locals claimed that the debris was not man-made, some materials couldn't be cut or burned, and bodies were recovered that were not human. And before anyone says people lie, yeah, absolutely. People lie. And people work in our government, you know? But anyway, a lot of these witnesses told their stories decades later with nothing to gain, often when they were dying, which is not typically when people decide to start, like, I don't know, talking about stuff. Maybe they do. But anyway, there are also reports that wreckage from Roswell was transported to other facilities. And this is where Area 51 starts getting dragged into it. The theory is, sorry if I'm talking really fast, I'm just tracking my ramen on my phone and it's getting super close. and I really want to eat it. But anyway, the theory is that Roswell was the crash site, but Area 51 became the research hub, where whatever was recovered was studied, tested, and then hidden. And to this day, the government maintains that there's no aliens, no spacecraft, just misunderstood Cold War tech. They did come out and basically say there was aliens, but I feel like nobody gave a shit. They were like, all right, let's go. Cool. But if it was just a balloon, secret or not, why did this incident become the most famous UFO case in history? Why were witnesses allegedly threatened into silence? Why does the story keep changing? And why does every explanation feel like it was written after someone said, okay, but like, what sounds the least insane, you know? Now, Roswell wasn't the beginning of alien conspiracies, but it was the moment the government accidentally admitted they lost control of the narrative. And once people stop trusting the explanation, they start asking much bigger questions, which brings us to the man who claims he actually worked on what Roswell delivered. And that is Bob Lazar. It's Lazar. Lazar. I don't know. Lazarus? I have no idea. But when I was going to say Lazar, what's that line from Dodgeball? And he's like, these are my teammates. Blazer, Taser, Razor, and like Greg or something, you know? That was my guy impression. I'm picturing him. He's in my mind, but his name's on the tip of my tongue. But anyway, hopefully you've seen Dodgeball and know what I'm talking about. But anyway, so Bob single-handedly launched like 1,000 Reddit threads and probably added himself to several government watch lists just by existing. So in 1989, he went public claiming that he had worked as a psychiatrist at a site called S4, a highly classified facility supposedly located south of Area 51 near Groom Lake. According to Bob, I keep saying Bob because I don't know how to pronounce his last name. Anyway, S4 wasn't about planes. It was about like 9 recovered alien spacecraft, and his job was to reverse engineer them. Now, he said the craft didn't use engines or fuel the way that we understand it. Instead, they operated using a gravity-based propulsion system powered by a then theoretical element he called element 115. Now, this element, he claimed, could generate its own gravity field, allowing the craft to like bend space and time and essentially fall forward through space, which sounds insane, except element 115 was officially added to the periodic table in 2003. Now, before anyone yells, yes, the synthesized version we know today is unstable. But the fact that Bob named it decades before it was officially acknowledged makes people go like, okay, but how did he know that? You know? So he described the interior of the craft having small seats, no visible wiring, smooth, seamless metal. Everything felt like it was designed for beings much smaller than humans, which is either like a very creative imagination or like deeply unsettling because I don't know why so tiny. Now, this is where Bob becomes like controversial as hell. See what I did there? You know, because like the band that I'm playing this week is Bored as Hell. No? Okay. Anyway, he claimed he studied at MIT and Caltech, 2 schools that are very much like, yeah, we never heard of them. And his education records are gone, and his employment records are missing, which skeptics say prove he's lying. But supporters say if you work on black budget alien tech, why wouldn't your resume survive, you know? And it doesn't help that some people confirmed details Bob shared that were not public at the time, including the layout of the base, security procedures, the existence of Wednesday night test flights where employees would watch experimental craft in the sky. And he even took friends out to the desert to watch these flights, and they did see strange aerial maneuvers. So let's talk about the FBI raid, shall we? So in 2017, Bob's business was raided by the FBI, and the official reason was an investigation into a murder where a chemical might have been purchased from his company. Totally normal. But conspiracy folks immediately said that timing is suspicious, especially since the raid reportedly involved element 115 documentation. So, and Bob has never changed his story. Not in 1989, not in the 90s, not now. He doesn't make big money off of it. He doesn't do like speaking tours. He openly said he wished he had never come forward, which is not usually the energy of someone like, you know, making stuff up, you know, but what do we do with him? You know, is he a whistleblower who revealed too much, or a brilliant liar who built the most elaborate sci-fi backstory ever, or a pawn in something much bigger than him? Because if Bob was telling the truth, is telling the truth, then Area 51 isn't about aliens visiting us. What if it's about us trying to become them, you know? I don't know if I want to be an alien. I mean, I watched Xenon, Girl of the 21st Century, you know, that with, what's his face? Protozoa, you know? I wanted to be an alien then, kind of. Maybe I just wanted to be in space then. That is such a good movie, though. It was my favorite. And basically any Disney movie, but Under Wraps, the original Under Wraps, I quote all the time and nobody knows what the hell I'm talking about. And Disney Plus doesn't even have it on there. They have the new Under Wraps, which I didn't watch it, so I can't tell you what it's like. But I want, you know, the original Under Wraps. Anyway, so let's talk about what people think is actually happening behind those gates. And I'm going to say this up front. Not all of these theories can be true at the same time, but also at least one of them could be. So theory 1 is recovered alien craft. This is the most popular one. So the idea is that the US military recovered multiple non-human craft, not just from Roswell, but from other incidents, and moved them to Area 51 for study. Supporters point to advanced materials we still can't replicate, sudden leaps in technology in the late 20th century, eyewitness accounts describing craft that defy physics, and honestly, if the government did get their hands on alien tech, Area 51 is like exactly where they'd put it, you know? Theory 2 is alien-human hybrid programs. So this is where things get like a little uncomfy. So some believe Area 51 is or was home to genetic experiments involving alien and human DNA. So the theory says aliens were either cooperating with governments or being studied without consent. Hybridization was attempted to understand their biology or improve ours, which sounds like a sci-fi movie, for real. I feel like they made a movie about this. But it also sounds exactly like something that would be like hidden forever if it were true. So theory 3 is the reverse engineered technology. And this one ties directly back to good old Bobo over there, right? So the idea isn't just that we found alien aircraft, it's that we figured out how to use them. So people believe stealth technology, fiber optics, microchips, advanced propulsion systems may have been influenced by non-human tech studied at Area 51. Now, skeptics say, no, that's just normal technological progress, which fair, but believers point out that the timeline of some advancements feel fast. Like humanity went from like hello moon to like this phone unlocks with my face kind of quickly, you know, but it took forever at the same time for like DNA to even be a thing to solve crimes. But anyway, so I will say though, I really thought, you know, I watched a lot of the Jetsons and we were supposed to have flying cars by now. Anyway, theory 4 is consciousness and mind experiments. So this theory says Area 51 isn't about aliens, it's about us. And some believe experiments involving telepathy, remote viewing, human consciousness, brain-machine interfaces were conducted there to understand how humans could interact with non-human tech, which honestly tracks because if you hand someone a spaceship that responds to thought, like you need to figure out how thoughts work first. So theory 5 is time or interdimensional research. Now we're fully on the deep end right now. Okay. So some believe that the beings associated with UFOs aren't aliens at all, but interdimensional, meaning they're not from another planet. They're from another layer of reality. And this theory suggests Area 51 may be studying time distortion, parallel universes, dimensional travel, which would explain why sightings often involve lost time, objects appearing and disappearing, and craft that move in impossible ways. At that point, aliens might actually be the least weird explanation. And then theory 6 is nothing alien at all. So some people believe Area 51 really is just advanced weapons testing, surveillance tech, and black budget projects that we'll never hear about. And the alien stuff is a perfect distraction because if everyone's looking for a little green man, they're not paying attention to what the government is actually building, which that is the scariest theory of all. So because Area 51 sits in that very annoying gray area where logic makes sense and also nothing makes sense at all, let's talk about both the skeptic side and the not skeptic side of this. So skeptics say we're overcomplicating this. So according to them, Area 51 exists to test black budget military technology, and secrecy is normal in national defense, and experimental aircraft can look insane if you're not supposed to know they exist. And historically, they're not wrong. During the Cold War, the US was obsessed with staying ahead of the Soviet Union, and advanced aircraft were critical, and leaks could have meant disaster. Plus, human brains love patterns. Like, we fill in gaps. Sometimes we do misremember things. We jump to conclusions, especially when like fear and mystery are involved, you know? So some UFO sightings were probably just weird planes. Some witnesses could have possibly been mistaken. Some stories could have gotten exaggerated over time. Like, it's all totally possible, according to skeptics, you know? I believe in aliens. I'm a believer. Don't delete me. But anyway, so the believers argument, they come in and they're like, okay, fine, explain the rest. Because, yeah, explain the rest, my guy. Why did the government deny Area 51's existence for decades? Why do official explanations keep changing? Why are so many credible witnesses reporting objects that outperform known technology? And why, in recent years, has the government gone from there's no UFOs to, okay, there are identified aerial phenomena and we don't know what they are? That's like a pretty big shift. And you know what the fuck they are. They're aliens. You guys know that little old lady? She curses all the time, but there's this video going around. She has a tinfoil hat on. She's like, the fucking aliens are coming. That's me, I guess, in another life. So believers argue that secrecy has gone beyond protecting tech. It's protecting information that would fundamentally change how we see reality. But like, where do you guys land? Even though I can't hear you if you answer it out loud. Are you like, it's just planes, or team take me to your leader? Or are you team, I don't know, but they're definitely lying about something? I'm team take me to your leader. Okay, I have to talk about Storm Area 51 because this was genuinely like one of the funniest moments in internet history. So like, I'll explain it for those of you who don't know, which I'm sure if you're listening to this podcast, you probably know. So in 2019, someone on Facebook created an event titled, and I swear it was titled this, Storm Area 51, They Can't Stop All of Us, which I feel like I want that on a shirt, right? And the plan, if you want to call it that, was for millions of people to show up to Area 51 and just run inside. The logic was like, if we all Naruto run at the same time, the guards won't be able to stop us. Which, first of all, bold strategy. Second of all, absolutely not how bullets work. This is the part that kills me. So within weeks, millions of people RSVP'd that they were going. Like, millions. Okay. The government actually had to respond. So the Air Force issued warnings saying, please do not attempt to enter the base. It is extremely dangerous, which is government speak for you will die and we will not apologize. So it's September 20th, 2019. And guess how many people showed up? Not millions, not hundreds of thousands, not even thousands. It was like a few hundred people. Most of them stood around taking pictures, selling alien merch, and like vibing in the desert. Like it was like Coachella for conspiracy theorists. Which also, can we make that a thing? I feel like that would be really fun. All the bands that I played on this podcast will come play music, and we'll have I don't know, not Coachella, but like something with the aliens. I gotta think of a cool name to call it. But anyway, one guy, Naruto ran. One, which means statistically, that man carried the entire movement on his back. Some people held signs up that said like clap alien cheeks, which makes me funny. That's funny. It makes me chuckle is what I was supposed to say. But they also had signs that said take me to your dealer, which why are people so fucking funny? But anyway, that was it. No storming, no aliens rescued, no government collapse, just vibes. This is why the government does not take us seriously. Because of stuff like that. Because of us walking around holding signs that say clap alien cheeks. But also, if aliens like were watching us at that moment, they would probably be like, we need to find another Earth. I love the idea of rebellion though. But anyway, is tinfoil made out of aluminum? I think it is. My brain's not working right at the moment. I think oh yes, because it's called aluminum foil. Anyway, grab your really aluminum-y tinfoil hat, because this episode would not be a true tinfoil hat episode if I didn't read you some alien stories from Reddit. And I will read more than one this time. Before I do that, I'm going to take a ramen break because my ramen's here. So BRB, guys. Okay, I'm back. And it was delicious. Just like I said it would be. But I got spicy ramen. It was spicy. My lips aren't too tingly. I'm so full though. Like I actually feel like I could roll away off this chair. Anyway, I was looking some UFO stories and stuff on Reddit to read to you. And this one was actually 41 minutes ago by Horizon Walker 87. And it's titled Channeling After UFO Spiritual Encounter. So I am going to read that for you real quick. Okay. It says, I'm writing this in search of others who may have had or be having similar experiences. After a UFO encounter a year ago with an orb, I have been experiencing occurrences of channeling at NHI. I don't know what that means. Oh, ANHI, at NHI. Non-human something? Is that what NHI means? Non-human interaction? I could be making that up. Maybe it thinks that maybe that's what it means. Anyway, so I have been experiencing occurrences of channeling that speaks occasionally in Hebrew and English. I am not Jewish, and the only language that I speak is English. I have channeled words like, I'm really sorry to any Jewish people out there. I'm going to butcher whatever these say. Okay. I have channeled words like Yesod and El Shaddai. Did I do it right? Anyway, other words in English have come through like peace and destiny. The words come through in a sub-vocalization style, like a whisper that isn't me speaking, like something breathing through me. This experience often occurs when I clear my mind and walk my neighborhood at night. Occasionally, burning orbs have flown overhead or hovered when this occurs. The feeling during these encounters is euphoric and incredibly centering for days and even weeks after. My first face-to-face encounter happened in May of 2024 during the G5 solar storm. Also, super random, but does anybody else get like really, really, really bad migraines during the solar storms? Because I did every time. And it's so freaking annoying. And also whenever I get like a really, really, really bad migraine, which has been happening so frequently, it's actually annoying. I think I already said that it's annoying. But every time I look, there's something going on with the earth, but it's wild. But anyway, I witnessed an orb dripping fire on the horizon that flew in front of me on a hill and took the shape of a vertical rectangle of golden light. The rectangle was so bright I could not look at it directly. It appeared comprised of intense solidified golden light that had an almost prism-like effect at the top. From this rectangle, it emanated pings of light and sound that looked like rings pulsing out of it, like a submarine's sonar display. The channeling is not like possession. There is no fear in me during it. It's like an internal radio that I can tune, or like a faucet that I can turn the knob and full sentences in English or Hebrew come through. It is also something that this being also has to show up for. I cannot force it. It's like a mutual connection. Has anyone else experienced any sort of telepathy or channeling like this long after a spiritual UFO encounter? It's worth sharing that I do come from a religious background. I do not particularly, that was hard to say, subscribe to one now, and have had previous spiritual encounters speaking in another language that I did not study. I did not fake these experiences, and have had the ability to tune into another language since I was 19 years old. I'm 38 now. Since that orb encounter in May of last year, full sentences in both Hebrew and English have poured out of me with an intensity I've never experienced. It's like I met the being I had been having spiritual experiences with most of my life and now channel them. I also want to share that I have spent the last few decades deconstructing and undoing the religious trauma from my youth. These recent experiences have not been in line with what I was raised to believe. They have challenged and changed me and shown me how much I do not know. The point of this post is not to share any of my conclusions or beliefs that I may have come to, but rather I'm seeking to know if anyone else has had a spiritual experience with an orb and then experienced telepathy, channeling, or speaking in tongues, notably with an unexpected Kabbalah type theme. Hopefully I pronounced that word right. So I'll read this comment and then I'll go to a different story. So this is a comment to that story I just read, and it's from user Garsec1, and it says, I could swear I had 2 UFO experiences after spending between 1 and 3 months meditating almost daily. The problem is they were so brief that I couldn't say for sure if it was simply a suggestion because my goal was contact. I've been meaning to try it again, but my personal life isn't going well and my spirits are low. I don't know if I'll do it again, but I can say that it made me feel great because I would go to the green areas of my city and meditate sitting on the grass after 4-hour walks. It felt wonderful and was very good for my health, so regardless of the goal or higher beings, I recommend it. Anyway, that's wild. What if it's like not, so it says UFO because of an unidentified flying object, but it seems like I guess an orb would be an unidentified flying object, right? Or an unidentified flying orb. because I guess you don't know who the orb is. Anyway, so like she said UFO, so I assumed aliens, but also I don't know, maybe she's talking about ghosts or something. And what she's doing is like, I don't know. Okay, this one is from King Walker 1K, and it's titled My UFO Encounter. So it says, 2018, Aiken, South Carolina, 1243 Hatchaway Bridge Road, around 8 p.m., 9 p.m. Did he just give his full address? Anyway, I was 14 years old at the time, now 20. I was in my room playing Assassin's Creed 2. It's hard to read this while I'm high because when I tell you, there is not one punctuation mark in this paragraph. It starts where I first read it and goes all the way to the very end. You know, I talk like that sometimes where like you talk and don't take a breath. And that's probably how he was telling the story for sure. I feel like I need to start over. Okay, 2018, Aiken, South Carolina, 1243 Hatchaway Bridge Road, around 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. I was 14 years old at the time, now 20. I was in my room playing Assassin's Creed 2. I remember it vividly. My stepmother yelled my name, so I went to go see what she wanted, and to my surprise, she was outside in the backyard just looking in the sky, so I went outside with her to see what she was looking at. And right before my eyes, I seen around 30, rough estimate, sorry, he used parentheses if that's considered a punctuation mark under around rough estimate. Bright lights in the sky, like literally above our house. The distance was about the distance of a helicopter, but lower. I looked at the objects in the sky for about 3 minutes. For the most part, the collective didn't move, but what I did notice were 3 formations like a triangle, 3 triangular formation in the sky. Only one of those 3 formations moved around, not sure what it was doing. Then when it go back into formation around 30 seconds or so, then all of them at once zoomed, sort of like hyperspace in Star Wars. The only reason I reference Star Wars is because of the trail left behind by the zoom. It looked bluish to me with a hint of light blue. But when, this is so hard to read. Okay, but when see them slightly, then they zoomed again, and I could no longer distinguish where they had gone. My stepmom believed them to be fallen angels, her being a Christian. Me, on the other hand, believed them to be aliens. That was a little rough. The first comment says, I almost passed out reading this. I can see it. I can see it happening. Oh, that's a shame. The next one says, have you ever heard of punctuation? Poor kid. Someone says, sentence. What sentence? And then someone else said, I suspect he's still typing to this day. Someone said, I stopped reading after Assassin's Creed 2. Whatever this person said is 100% legit. I don't know why that made me chuckle. So I have to say hi again. So hi again, because I know I started this podcast by saying happy Friday, but happy Saturday night. I did not have nearly enough time to edit this the past few days because I had over an hour's worth of like recording material, which has never happened to me before. So that took a really long time to go through. And also I wanted to tell you, so we had my family Christmas party today, like my side of the family, and we do this like white elephant thing, and I've been chuckling about this for a couple hours, so I'm going to tell you. So my cousin had texted me this morning, and he was like, oh, okay, I'm going to grab a gift on my way. And I was like, oh yeah, it's cool. I was really late last year with getting my gift. I think I sent my kids like while the party was going on. But anyway, I was like, if you need to wrap it, put it in the back and you can wrap it with the extra wrapping paper. And he's like, oh, we got to wrap it too? Like, but that's not even the funny part. So we're all picking gifts and stuff, and it was my turn, and I kept looking at this little bag, and it was like a really small bag, and I saw like what was sticking out of it, and all I could think of was like, oh, I wonder if my elderly aunt brought this. But then I really thought about it, and I was like, no, she didn't, because I saw what she brought in. I don't know who the hell brought this bag in. So anyway, the bag gets opened, but instead of tissue paper, it was McDonald's napkins. It was McDonald's napkins. And then I think it was Tom who got it. When he was pulling the napkins out, everybody's like, what the Everybody's like, what the heck? And then it was a McDonald's gift card, which I never would have thought to use I never would have thought to use McDonald's napkins as tissue paper, but to me, that is just like so freaking funny. I don't know why, but I feel like now I want to get like Burger King napkins and like use that as tissue paper. Oh, so funny. But anyway, that's where I'm ending this episode. So if you liked this episode, share it with someone who still thinks that Storm Area 51 was like actually going to work. Because I'm sure there's people out there like me, maybe, Shout out to everyone listening on Nighthawk Radio. Go check them out, show them some love, and keep supporting independent creators who keep things weird and interesting, because they have a whole bunch on Nighthawk Radio. And if you're listening on, I think I said this already, but if you're listening on like Apple and Spotify and stuff, you can like rate and review and I don't know, do all of the things that it tells you to do, and share it with someone who you think might like this podcast. The song of the week is Still Doing This by Bored as Hell. Go stream it wherever you get your music. Until then, stay weird, stay curious, go be kind to someone for no reason, and go be amazing.
Not feeling great. I get to work an hour late, and everyone looks at me like I'm an asshole. My boss says get over here. You smell like whiskey and beer, so I'm getting sent home early like an asshole. Whoa, I don't know why I'm still doing this. Whoa, I don't know why I'm still doing this. Walking out a trip under my lace, hit the ground, fucked up my face, and some guy screams, hey, look at that asshole! Heading home to see my girl, she's with some other girl, and she's getting tongue deep in her asshole. Whoa, I don't know why I'm still doing this. Whoa, I don't know why I'm still doing this.
Take your holiday green bean casserole from bland to brilliant with Hatfield Classic Cut Bacon. Start with your traditional casserole recipe. Then add a generous layer of crispy chopped Hatfield bacon on top. The rich, smoky flavor takes this holiday classic from side dish to showstopper. Your guests will savor the upgrade and return for seconds and even thirds. More holiday recipe inspiration awaits at simplyhatfield.com. Hatfield, better care, better pork, better holidays.